Good evening. This is David Lynn, and this is Coffee Talk number 169. It's 7 p.m. Wednesday. It is March the 6th, 2024. And Joseph Moore, hello. KP Heathen, greetings from Louisiana. Hope you guys are doing okay. I apologize about last night. I'm going along and all of a sudden, bloop, and it just, I don't know. uh, and then I get a text message. I try to fix the thing, and then I get a text message from Uncle Al telling me, "Hey, you're still online. You're looping. Your thing is looping." So apparently, it was in some sort of a glitch where it was looping, and it showed the same thing over and over again. Not my best image. The Black Widow channel, and Holly Ivins, and Julianne West. How are y'all doing? Appreciate y'all coming in. I don't know. I always say that technology is a blessing when it works, and it's a curse when it doesn't. And yesterday I was cursed. um, in Osang, Ricatera, thank you for coming in. But everything seems to be back up and running and working well. So thank the Lord. If you haven't left a like, please leave a like to support the channel. 7 in the house with 4 likes. And I guess Osang is over on the other side of the world, which is about 13 hours ahead of us. Whenever I hear somebody saying good morning and it's the evening here, I know, okay, other side of the world. I tell you guys, like Black Widow, I run some of your stuff overnight. I haven't, I have not left a comment or a like or anything, but I did run it. I did run it, and I will go back and do that. Little Lone Prepper, thank you for coming in, Little Lone Prepper. We had benchmark testing today, what they call benchmark testing. And afterwards, I had to go to a faculty meeting that lasted over an hour after the kids got out of school and everything. So when I came in, I'm tired. I stopped off at Taco Bell. I made a run for the border. And I got a Nachos Del Grande and a Pepsi. I don't know. I have a love of Mexican food. It's not really Mexican food, but you can sort of get by with saying it is, you know. And I've got a taste for that kind of stuff. So I made a run for the border. 8 in the house. And 6 likes. So I'm just tired. It's been a day. I'm tired. I will not be on tomorrow night. I don't expect. We're having what's called Viper Fest, and the schools. I guess the school mascot is the Viper. So it's the STEM Vipers. and they're having what's called a Viper Fest. The kids can buy tickets. They pay like $10, and they get to go do lots of stuff at school from 4 to 6:30. So I won't get in time to do my live stream, and I'll be tired. So I'll try to post something on my community wall that I won't be live streaming tomorrow. And so it is what it is, and that's how things go. Hello, Uncle Al, Dibo Frog 79. Uncle Al has been putting out some good shorts. He's been putting out some good food shorts. The eggs look good, you know. Love the eggs. Love eggs. And that was one of his shorts. It looked really good. And Uncle Al was apologizing about what happened last night. There was just some sort of bloop, and all of a sudden it went down. And apparently, when it came back up, it was on a loop. It was glitching on a loop. I was trying to do whatever I could to, what's going on? What's going on? And my screen, it just went black, you know. And I played with it for a couple of minutes, and I said, "Oh hell, hell with it." I said, "I'm sorry. I had some sort of issue or something other, so I'll just say good night and see y'all tomorrow." And then I get a text message from Uncle Al on my phone. It says, "You're looping. You're still on. You're looping. You're live." And I try to go back, and I'm trying to disconnect the thing, and then the damn thing didn't want to disconnect. Wayne, the ungrateful peasant, welcome. And Idaho Garden Girl. But that's happened to me once or twice before. It wasn't like a first timer, but it's like, well, why me, Lord? I don't know. Just sometimes the technology is a blessing when it works, and sometimes you just hate it. 9 likes, 9 in the house. Well, I tell you, I got another box in. I tell you what, those postal workers, I bet you that postal worker doesn't like me too much, because my daughter orders lots of stuff, I order lots of stuff, and they have to make it's sort of like, like the trash men, when you clean up the yard, and you got like 10 or 12 bags of, of clippings and such, that truck's got to come by, and then they got to load all that stuff up. It's like, I'm sure they're not happy, but all I can say is it is what it is. But I got another box in, and this is a heavy box. Oh, Lord have mercy. This is a heavy box. This box is heavy. So I said, I'll do it as an opening. I'll open it up on my live stream. So I pull out my Smith & Wesson knife. This is a nice heavy knife. I paid $25 plus tax for it probably about 3 years ago, and it's got nice features. So let's use it to open the box and see what's going on in the wide world of sports. Pull this stuff out. The big reveal. And it's a number 10 can. Oh, Lord. I have probably showed you these before. This is a Agassiz Farms Orange Delight. 66 servings. Net weight 5 pounds, 11 ounces. 30 years shelf life, just add water. 100% vitamin C. 140 calories per serving, 3 teaspoons. 3 tablespoons. About 1.5 cups of water. So about 12 ounces of water and 3 tablespoons, and it'll make 66 servings. This is nice and heavy. And this is what you call, this is a beverage. This Orange Delight is a flavored drink mix. So whenever I get these things in, I always put the month and the year that I got it. So this one's going to be 3 of 24. Use my Sharpie. It's going to go in the pantry. It's about the third one of these that I've gotten. It'll go in the pantry. I'm getting bad if 5 pounds is too heavy. It's like, good Lord. Becoming dangerous. Wayne's other channel, Becoming Dangerous. And Mr. Whistle. Hey, Mr. Whistle, thank you for coming in. So I've got to go clear out room in one of the pantries. Got to clear out another shelf. And as an example, this is Nutrient Survival powdered milk. I got this in a couple of days ago. It's been sitting on my roll top. I've got a roll top desk in my man cave. Powdered vitamin milk, delicious and creamy non-fat milk. Best by 12/11 of 48. So this is about a 25-year shelf life. 37 ounces. This will make 50 servings per can. 30 essential nutrients, 25-year shelf life. Gluten-free, soy-free, just add water, ready in minutes. In each 2 tablespoons, and it says 70 calories per serving. That's sitting, I'm actually sitting on top of some Agassiz Farm potato shreds that I got. I got 2 number 10 cans of potato shreds that I bought for $17 for the 2 together. Mom of 4 boys. Welcome, Mom of 4 boys. Good to see you. So 11 in the house, 13 likes. It has been a day. It's been a day. And it's been a lot going on. Lots of stuff in the news. Lots of everybody's mad at everybody else. You know, basically it's like you've got 2 teams. You've got the left team and you got the right team. And they hate each other. And that's where you start having issues with things happening. Right now, there's a growing boycott. Truck drivers are starting to boycott the big blue sanctuary cities like Chicago, New York. They want to boycott New Jersey, and they're upset about all the liberal far liberal, the taxes, the lack of law enforcement, all the stuff that's going on in the big blue cities. And the big blue cities are, really becoming very unsafe to live in. And they have nobody to blame but their government for this type of stuff they're voting. But Uncle Al would tell me, "You're going off script. Stay on your script." I don't have a script. I'm not using a teleprompter. I'm basically speaking what I think from the heart, the mind, the heart, whatever. And I look at stuff that's on the news, and I try to give you as unbiased as I can be, even though I'm a little biased. But I'm biased towards I'm old school. I reference Uncle Al. We're about the same age. Some of the other channels that come in here, we're all about the same age. We grew up at a time when it was safer, when people were more civil to everybody. You didn't have to worry about your safety as much, and people would treat you with respect. Kids treated adults with respect. They treated older people with respect. People respected law enforcement. People respected veterans who served. I grew up, my generation should have been the post-World War II generation. My parents were married they were together and married. They were married for 21 years before I was born. They had dated for a couple of years before they married. And I can remember my father used to say 21 years, and then they had me. So they were all, middle-aged. My father was 50 years old. My mother was 40 years old when I was born. They'd been married since he was she was 19 and he was 29 when they got married, and they dated for a couple of years. My mother graduated from high school at the age of 17, and they dated and eventually got married, and they thought they would never have a child, but my grandfather, who died of emphysema, convinced them to stop smoking, and they had been smokers, just like 75% of the population at one time smoked. And apparently stopping smoking allowed somebody's fertility to go up sufficiently that they were able to bear a child. And I'm the product of that. So, I could have been born right after World War II, but as it was, I was born right around the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis. I was born in '62. And so most of and I'm an only child, so most of my cousins and various people are a hell of a lot older than me. I've got first cousins that are, well into their 80s. And, everybody's pretty much gone. My father's baby brother, who is 17 years younger than him, Uncle Howard, he's going to be 94 years old pretty soon. He was the baby of the family. My father was the oldest son. He was the baby. And there were 9 of them, So, and I never knew my father's father. My grandfather died 30 years before I was born. He died in 1932. During the Depression. My father was 19. My father was 19 years old when his father passed on. So, that's my story. I tell it periodically. Nita's Cooking Show. Hello, Nita. Thank you for coming in. I guess you've been here for a little while. The Bud Files. Thank you for coming in. I was told that it could be what happened to me last night could have been the YouTube algorithm or an AI or whatever that basically knocked down my stream. MB Heritage Farms. Hello, MB Heritage Farms. Living in the house. 15 likes. 20 minutes in. So as I was saying earlier, for some of you who just came in, and I've got other stuff ordered that I'm waiting on, but I just got, and I just unboxed another number 10 can of Orange Delight, which is a beverage, and I dated it 3 of 24, and this is basically 66 servings, 3 tablespoons per serving, about 1.5 cups prepared with water, 140 calories. So this has got calories in it. 12-ounce glass of this, 3 tablespoons of the powder, and that's a beverage. And then a couple of days ago, I got in a nutrient survival. This is a powdered vitamin milk. Delicious and creamy non-fat milk. 37 ounces. It's 25-year milk, 50 servings. 30 essential nutrients. No artificial colors, flavor, or preservatives. Just add water, ready in minutes. Gluten-free, soy-free. So, and I've been ordering multiple cans of this kind of stuff, trying to make sure that I have beverages and such for my pantry. I've also ordered several cases of humanitarian daily rations before they all wind up over in Israel, in Gaza, because it was announced we're going to start delivering food shipments, and I know what they're going to do is they're going to start delivering and dropping pallets of humanitarian rations, because they're designed that they're not going to offend anybody's religion, and they've got a lot of calories. It's a 24-hour ration, so it's basically 2 meals plus snacks. It doesn't have beverages in it, and it doesn't have ration heaters in it. But I mean, you can either eat it, at room temperature, or you can boil it. You can put the retort pouches. Comes with a couple. Each meal comes with a couple of retort. Each 24-hour ration comes with a couple of 8-ounce retort pouches. And you basically can just heat the retort pouch in water, hot water, and that'll heat it. And you just need beverages. And you can have, little sachets, little packets of lemonade or grape or orange or tea or coffee or whatever you want to do. You just need to be able to heat water. Yeah, clean out the freezer. Sounds good. Good Lord, I look huge as a house. So it's like, I'm looking at me and I look good because I'm from right here. But then when I look on my hand device, like, it goes further down. It's like, whoa, look at that belly. I really need to lose weight. I need to call tomorrow and make my wellness checkup appointment for the doctor this coming week. I'll be off, have 9 days off. We're feeding our enemies. Yeah, we're feeding our enemies. We drop the pallets, and then the local warlord comes and steals it. Yeah, likely. There was an incident over there. They were talking about in the news how there was some sort of I don't know. They were trying to deliver supplies, and there was like just a herd of just stampede, and a bunch of people got killed. And they said they were saying, well, the Israelis had opened fire on them, and the Israelis saying that most of it was people basically running over people and trampling them to death. And there might have been 100 and some odd people died because thousands of them tried to rush the convoy. They were starving, they were hungry, and they didn't wait in line or nothing. They just food, just Three Stooges, but like thousands of them. And I've seen stuff on news before where you get a stampede going, people trying to get through a door, people fall down, they get hit in the head, and people step on them, and then they start piling up and everything, and you get lots of injured people and some casualties. But nobody wants them. You know, I would clean that area out. You've got a small area with a couple of million people, and they hate the Jews. They they proclaim, many of them, like they just want to destroy Israel. They want to kill Jews. They do it in the name of their God. Um, and I don't want to get into a discussion of religion because I would offend a bunch of people with the facts. The facts offend. Like, I can. I was raised a Roman Catholic, and Uncle I said, "Stay on script, stay on script. Stop talking about that." But I will tell you, I was raised a Roman Catholic, and I went to Catholic school. I started in a convent. My mother's family is Catholic. My father's family is Baptist. I was raised, baptized, went up through, took confirmation, all that stuff in the church, and I started studying scripture, and I started studying history, and I have a degree in history, and I took courses towards the theology degree, which I didn't get, but I mean, I took a number of courses towards the theology degree, and I learned about the history of Christianity. You know, they don't really, most of these faiths that, they tell you what to believe, but they don't tell you how they got to where they're at. They'll quote the Gospels and such, but they don't want to talk about how they got where they're at over 2,000 years. And when you learn where a lot of the stuff that they spout now came from, it had nothing to do with the church. It had nothing to do with Christianity. It had nothing to do with the scriptures or anything. It's stuff that just developed over centuries. Um, the Agassiz Farms pancake mix was MIA for a while. Now it's over $31 for each number 10 can. It used to be less than $10. Yeah, everything's going up. Everything's going up. I encourage people to buy while you can. The other thing is, U.S. MREs way up. You want to get a case. You want to get a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old case of U.S. rations. The military rations, the stuff that they drop, the case A or the case B. You're going to pay 140, 135, 140, $150 depending what you're getting. And that's for 12. And if you want to buy an individual one, they want to charge you $20, $22, $25 for one individual U.S. military MRE that's probably 3 or 4 years old. So, like when I buy components, and I buy lots of, I buy stuff, and I if I'm going to have it, I take it apart and I mix and match. Like soldiers, if if 2 or 3 soldiers get a case of MREs, they're out in the field and they get a case of MREs, they're going to look at what's there. I want this, I want that, swap and trade, field strip. They'll pull stuff out, they keep what they want, they get rid of what they don't want. you know. So I oftentimes will open up, like you get a case of, and I'm planning on doing this, and hopefully I'll record it and release it as a video, but I'm going to open up a case of humanitarian daily rations. I'm going to open up all 10 of the 24-hour rations, pull everything out, count it up, show you, explain to you this is what it would cost if you were buying the components. Like if you want to buy those cookies that they sell, those shelf-stable cookies, you're going to pay a couple of dollars a pop for those cookies. If you order a case of like 12 dessert items or 12 bread items or 12 cookies or whatever, you're going to pay $26 or $27 for those. So you're going to pay over $2 a piece for those cookies. Whereas, okay, you get a $35, $40 box of humanitarian daily rations, and it's going to be 4 or 5 years old, hopefully stored properly, so it's wasn't stored out in the heat. But you're going to get a box of those, and that's what they give out, for emergencies and such. And it'll have, in that case of 10 24-hour rations, it'll have 20 cookies. It'll have it'll have 20 packs of crackers, like the military crackers, a little squared two and it'll have 20 of those. It'll have 10 peanut butters and 10 jellies. It'll have 10 Pop-Tarts. It'll have 20 mains. Mains are going for like $3.50 a piece now. You just buy individual mains, and it depends on what you're getting. I mean, the prices vary, and and mind you, the humanitarian rations are going to be vegetarian. They're going to be vegan or vegetarian, where they're not going to have any meat items in it. Not going to have pork items. Not going to have chicken. It's going to be all vegetarian for religious purposes. But when you start looking at all those components and you start looking at what you would pay for them, SD Mountain Man, thank you for coming in, SD. When you start looking at those components and what you would pay for them, you really see that you get a good deal when you buy a case like that and you separate it out. And and then the other thing I would tell you, okay, I've got lots of freeze-dried. I've got meals, and I've got freeze-dried components and such. I've got the little packets of it, and I've got this type of stuff you got to put in a pot and and mix up in a pot. But when you start looking, okay, well, snacks. I love Pop-Tarts. Shit, I can eat a Pop-Tart every day. I buy Pop-Tarts. I go to the store and I buy Pop-Tarts. Different flavors and stuff. Cookies. I love those shelf-stable cookies. I love those shelf-stable cookies. So you go and you do a freeze-dried, mix up a freeze-dried meal, and you pull out a pack of crackers. You eat crackers with it, drink some coffee with it or tea or whatever, and then for dessert you have one of those cookies. Hey, you're good to go. You're good to go, and you're getting so much for what you're paying for it. You're getting a hell of a lot. Yeah. You want to make one of those tree huggers throw up, give them a thick juicy ribeye, or you give a Muslim pork. When we had previously, when we had the Philippines, and there are parts of the Philippines that have a Muslim population. Well, the Muslims went in revolt. The Muslims, they were on jihad, or they went revolt against us, and they, started guerrilla warfare and fighting and such, and we had to put them down. Well, the general that they had over there, he, they captured a bunch of, they took a bunch of prisoners, and they dug a big pit, and they executed them, and then they threw the bodies in, and then they cut up some hogs, and they threw the hogs in with the bodies and buried them. And they left a few of the Muslims, they left a few of them to live to see what had happened, and they let them loose. And they went back, and they stopped that rebellion. They cut that crap out, because what they did with the pork, burying the pigs with the bodies, it defiled the bodies according to their religion, and they were not able to go to their paradise. So they did that. They did that. Now today, everybody would be screaming bloody murder about those poor, one, you killed those poor pigs, and two, you desecrated those poor Muslims. Cha Cha Marie. Hello, Cha Marie. Thank you for coming in. But, back in the day, we didn't play. When we fought the Spanish-American War, and that's when we got the Philippines, and we got Cuba, because we got Cuba. We went in, we took Cuba from the Spaniards. When we went in, Devil Dog Prepper, good to see you. Thank you for coming in, Devil Dog Prepper. When we went in and we got Cuba, they were having problems with guerrillas. They went in, they did the initial fighting, and they defeated their troops, and the charge up San Juan Hill and all that stuff. Well, when they went in, they wanted to pacify the place. They would go out and they'd clear out an area. They'd clear it out, and then they'd let it be known that if we catch anybody in this area, we're automatically going to assume that they're a rebel, or they're, a guerrilla in rebellion, and we're just going to shoot them. So they would go and clean out an area and remove people from the area, and then if they found anybody in that area after that, they shot them. So we didn't have a lot of problems controlling things and putting things down. Right now, they're having a hell of a time in Haiti, down in the Caribbean, little Haiti. Haiti and the Dominican Republic are together. Part of the island is the Dominican Republic, very peaceful. Part of the island is Haiti, what you call an S-hole. And they're having all sorts of trouble down in Haiti right now. And I can just imagine certain idiots in this administration wanting to say, oh, those poor people, we're going to have to go rescue them, we're going to have to bring them over here. And they're all sorts of looting and burning and raping and pillaging and thievery and, just the worst of the worst. And then we want to bring those people in here and turn them loose into our cities. So yeah, I know. Back when we were fighting, the Iraq War, and we were fighting in Afghanistan and such, one of the things that they would do is when they would go in and they'd clear a building, or they'd clear an area, and they had, taken out, the enemy or whatever, somebody would be, that they'd have people to be assigned to go around and put a bullet in everybody's head. Because they were afraid somebody might be playing possum, and as soon as you let your guard down, they reach out with their guns, start shooting people. So they would go, and they call it a security round. And then somebody'd go and put a bullet in everybody's head. All the bodies on the ground, that put a bullet in, make sure they were dead. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's so cruel, and and defiling the bodies and all this crap. And they started having rules of engagement that were just absolutely idiotic. Belinda's Country Living. Hello, Belinda. Thank you for coming, Belinda. So, I had a glitch or something happen last night. I'm live streaming just the way I am right now, and all of a sudden, poop, and it just went black. And I said, "Good Lord God in heaven, what happened?" And then I was trying to mess with it and trying to get it to come back on for several minutes. And I finally said, "The hell with it, it's not gonna." So I got it up and it was frozen, and I could see the chat stream was still going, but I was frozen. And so I said, thank you, apologize, technical issues. I'll be back tomorrow. And I basically just shut it off. And then a couple of minutes later, I get a text message from Uncle Al. "You're still live. You're in a loop. It's still looping. You need to get out of it." And I said, "Uncle Al, I tried. I thought I got out of it. I hit end. And I thought it ended, but apparently it hadn't." So I played with it and everything, messed with it for a little while, and finally it shut down. Finally. And I'm thinking, good God Almighty, I don't know what in the world I did to deserve that. So for those of you who just recently came in, I just got another number 10 can in. And I order them, and I'll order one or two at a time. I could make a large order, and I might get one of these big boxes with 10 cans in it. But I try to make the order separately. I get free delivery with Prime, so I'll order one or two cans at a time. And, it's you call it my prepper haul or whatever. I just got this one in. This is another one. I have several of these. This is what's called Orange Delight. It is a orange beverage, and I put the date on it, 3 of 24. It came into. I ordered it a couple of days ago, and basically what it says is there are 66 servings per container, serving size 3 tablespoons and 12 ounces of water. It'll have 140 calories in it, and this is shelf life of 30 years. Just add water. Orange Delight flavored drink mix. 66 servings. 66 servings. So when you're doing, when you're using those humanitarian daily rations, and you're getting a 24-hour ration, and that 24-hour ration is costing you maybe $3.50 for a 24-hour ration, it doesn't have a beverage in it. Well, here's a beverage. If you want this, you got this. If you want coffee, you got coffee. If you want milk, Nutrient Survival. I just got this in a couple of days ago. Just ordered it. This is 3 of 24. 25-year shelf life milk. 50 servings per can. 30 essential nutrients. 25-year shelf life. No artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. No nitrite. No. It gives some stuff that I don't think you'd want. Just add water, ready in minutes. Gluten-free, soy-free. 2 tablespoons, 8 ounces of water makes a drink that's 70 calories. Low-fat milk. You get a case of humanitarian daily rations. They're going for $35, $36 a case right now. 10-day supply for one person. And just add beverages and boil. Just heat the water in a pot. Heat a pot of water. Put your 8-ounce retort pouch in it, your main, and you can heat it that way. If you've got spare flameless ration heaters, you can try to use a flameless ration heater. The U.S. flameless ration heaters are crap. They really do not work. So I really avoid those. Mike Crusher Reviews. Hey, Mike, thank you for coming in. I need to go over and give Mike some love. I'm sure I missed his last video. I'll have to get caught up. I stay behind. Yeah, you add water to rehydrate. But Depending on what you're doing or what you're trying to rehydrate, you may add cold water. Like if it's a dessert, usually it's cold water. If it's, like milk, it's cold water. Orange Delight, it's cold water. Chocolate milk, or what they call moo, it's cold water. But like coffee, hot tea, um, you're rehydrating some sort of main or some sort of, you know, uh, stroganoff or soup or whatever, it's hot water. And normally you put a little bit less in than what it tells you to put in. And it'll usually tell you gotta let it work for about 12 minutes or so, and then make sure you stir it pretty good and let it sit then. And after 12-15 minutes, it's ready to eat. So, like the other day, I was showing some, I guess what you call individual pouches, where you basically add the water to the pouch, and you prep it and you seal the pouch up, and then after you stir it a little bit, and they say it's usually about 2.5 servings. Well, I would say if you're dealing with a woman and a child, that would be enough. One pouch would be enough for a woman and a child, or 2 women. But if you're dealing with a pretty good sized man, one of those pouches, unless you've got other stuff with it, one of those pouches would probably be a full meal for a man, and it'd be 550 calories. And that would be the way. Yeah, thank you. Thank God, no problems tonight. 46, 47 minutes in. I'll be here for another. I'm trying to keep it to about an hour. I'll be here for another 13, 14 minutes. 14 in the house, 21 likes. So, I said before, I will not be on tomorrow. I've got a function. I had training today at school. We had benchmark testing. We were benchmark testing math. Tomorrow we're benchmark testing science and social studies for 8th graders. And after school tomorrow, they're having what's called Viper Fest. The mascot of the school is the Viper. And STEM Middle School, Victoria Vipers. And we're having what they call Viper Fest. So the kids can pay $10. And then after school, they'll have lots of stuff that they can do. And they'll have food and stuff for them, the treats, games that they can play. And it'll be from 4 to 6:30. So I said I would be there to help, do discipline, keep an eye on things. And I probably will not be at home in time. I might get home in time to start at 7, but I'm going to be tired because I'm at school by 7 o'clock in the morning. And if I'm up there for 12 hours, right at 12 hours, that's a long day for me. And I'm tired and I'm old. And so I will not live stream tomorrow. And if I have the energy to, I'll put something on my community wall about it. But I will be back Saturday, and I'll be back Friday because tomorrow's Thursday. Okay, tomorrow's Thursday. I'll be back Friday, and then I will be off for 9 days. I have the weekend. I have all next week and the following weekend, so I'll be off for 9 days, and I'll work some more on my channel. I'll put out some more. I'll try to put out a couple of smaller videos. I've got a power station I need to unbox. I've got a Pecron power station that's about twice the power of the ones that I've just showed you recently, those Blue Eddies. And it's got a 1,000-watt pure sine wave inverter in it, so you could run a small microwave if you wanted to. I would not be. What I would basically be doing with my power station is I would be charging up my lights. I might be running a fan with it, and I would be using it to run my 12-volt refrigerator freezer. And I would probably just be using it on a refrigerator, and I would be keeping cold milk and cold beverages and cold water, maybe some eggs and butter and various things that you want to keep cold. That's what I would have in it. Like a 50-quart, or what you call a 50-liter fridge freezer. I've got a couple of those wheels, and a handle. I need to do a video of that too. So I'll plan on doing that this next week. In addition, I will plan on. Bye, Wayne. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. And I did run some of your stuff last night, Wayne. I just need to go back and leave a comment and a like. I run a playlist last night on some stuff. I usually, when I run a playlist, I'm usually running longer stuff. I'm not running. I don't do the short stuff on playlists. If I do short stuff, I watch it. Playlists would be for live streams and for longer videos and such. So 17 in the house, 21 likes, 50 minutes in. If you want to help somebody, there are channels that are trying to get monetized, and in order to get monetized, you got to have, well, depending on what you're trying to do, the first level of monetization is 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. To be fully monetized with everything, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Well, I have over 1,500 subscribers, and I have my 4,000 watch hours. I reached that a couple of weeks ago. Over the holiday, I'm going to do the application. You know, I've got a notice to do it, and I'm going to do the application. They say it takes 5 or 10 minutes, and I will do that. Yeah. Latter-day Saints, yeah, the Mormons. One of the channels that I used to be very close with before I offended him because I said something about the Catholic Church, which was true, and I was raised a Catholic. He's real big on buying from the Latter-day Saints. They have a store up north of Austin, in that area up there, and he would go in there and he would buy stuff, or he would order stuff from them. So that's a good idea, Holly. Yeah, I understand. Everybody needs to put out some everybody needs to put out videos. You know, YouTube wants you to put out a certain number of videos, and they're really big on shorts. After you get monetized, it all comes down to views and likes. You want the views. You want people to play the stuff that let the ads run, because you know, if you don't have premium, you know, they run the ad. You know, you get the ads, and they want the ads to run. Well, you're blessed. You're blessed. You're blessed. Mom, thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah. There's a place called Ozark Trails, and sometimes you can go directly to them and buy stuff from them, you know, at a savings. Now, they'll usually charge you shipping, but a lot of times you get places like Amazon, and they'll buy from other places. You know, they buy it from other places and then they send it to you. But originally it was like, you know, a Ozark Trail or something. Thank you for coming, Mom. Appreciate you. So, you know, I buy components, and I've got to over the break. I've got to go and do some organization. Here's a case of 12 packs of tortillas, shelf stable. 2 tortillas, net weight 2.2 ounces, 220 calories per serving. Serving is 2 tortillas. Bridgeford. And it talks about the ingredients. Wheat flour. Number one ingredient's wheat flour. And then it's got a bunch of stuff. Water, vegetable shortening, soybean, you know. 12-pack. I paid $25, $26 for it. Right now, when you buy a box of something, you normally get 12. And it goes for $26, $27 right now. And that's with got Prime as free delivery. So I love tortillas. I love cheese. I love eggs. I can make my own tacos. I could do. I can use the freeze-dried eggs. I can use the freeze-dried potato shreds to put eggs and potatoes. I can put some cheese in it, jalapeno cheese, or I can mix up some cheese because I got cheese powder. I can mix up cheese and put it in my 12-volt refrigerator, that's running on solar, my power station. And, yeah, the AC won't be running because it draws too much power. But, nobody will be starving at my house. And we will have lights. And we'll have fans, and it'll be like 100 years ago from the technology standpoint, but we'll be eating well, lots of variety of stuff, and clean drinking water. I got lots of it stored, and I know how to purify it. You just got to have a decent source, whether you're talking about you've got a rain catchment system, or you've got a lake, or a freshwater lake, or a pond, or a river you can go get water from. I've got a well, but I need a manual pump. Well pump is 220, and you're gonna have a hard time trying to run 220 with unless you're talking about using like a propane or powered generator or whatever. You get a dual fuel, runs on gas and propane. I would only use the propane because the gas, you got to do a lot, shorten the life of it. Well, good for you. Take care, Mom. 14 in the house, 21 likes. I bought 2 number 10 cans of potato shreds, 21 servings per can. And I got these in at the end of this last month, and I paid $17 for the 2 cans together. So you're talking about $8.50 a can. Now, when you start talking about getting meat items, chicken, or, meat-related type items, you're going to pay $50, $60, $70 a can. Not cheap. It's not cheap at all. Some things you can get very reasonably. Some things you're going to pay a lot for. But you got to have all your bases covered with the basics. So you've got to have, unless you're just drinking water, you got to have some beverages. I don't know anybody that doesn't drink some coffee. You got to have coffee. A lot of people like tea, so you can have tea bags. Stuff lasts forever. You store it properly. Freeze-dried coffee. Eventually, the pods will run out. So you got to have freeze-dried coffee. Got to have a means to be able to power these things, so got to have a good strong inverter. So anyway, good night, Uncle Al. Thank you for coming. So it's been a long day. I've got things to do tomorrow at school. I won't be out of school till after 6:30. We got a function after school called Viper Fest tomorrow. I won't live stream tomorrow. I don't think I'll live stream tomorrow because I'll barely make it home in time, and I'll be tired and I'll be hungry. Uh, my motto and my basic belief is being prepared. My videos, my live streams, my channel is basically dedicated to being prepared. That's why I go by the prepper principle, because I'm a retired principal. I put 30 years in education, 23 as an administrator, and I prep. I believe life is good, but it is what it is. Things happen. And I treat people the way I want to be treated. I tell people to treat people the way you want to be treated. I pray for those. Every day when I wake up, I thank God for the day, because your days are numbered. You don't know how many days you have. People a lot younger than me are dying out of the blue. Tell those that you care about you love them. Your spouse, your kids, your parents. Be quick to say, I'm sorry, apologize. Doesn't cost you anything. Open the door for older people and ladies. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Be respectful. Support and thank first responders, law enforcement, medical workers, EMS, the military, veterans. Be kind to people. Get yourself a list of what you need. Prioritize it. Have an inventory of what you have and go out and shop it. Don't expect things to go bad. And what do you want to do? Just die? Well, yeah, there'll be a lot of people dying. There'll be a lot of people dying. So, everybody have a blessed day, and I will see you back here probably Friday night, but I won't be back tomorrow. Thank you for coming, and I'm glad I didn't have any problems with this live stream. Everybody have a blessed day. Thank you.